Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Bourbon Neophyte. I hope your evening tonight is going well and that you all are relaxed, sitting back, and enjoying a good pour. And speaking of that, that's going to be the topic of discussion tonight. And just before I get started, we'll just do a little housekeeping and say, hey, good evening, everybody, to Five Fingers. I know you were hanging around here for a little bit. And Marty from Whiskey Knows, always appreciate it when Marty stays up this late at night to at least come on and say hello. JD, I know it's early morning for you over there. Appreciate you being here and enjoy that cup of tea, that's for sure. Matt, I know it's late for you too, so appreciate you being here. And oh, story time is here. Always appreciate that guy. And you know, I get a lot of material from story time because if anybody of you doesn't know, and if you guys are watching that are new to the channel and just kind of lurking in the background, one, hit that like button and please subscribe to help support the channel to get that YouTube algorithm going on there. But story time, as you guys might see on there, is a distillery that puts out some pretty darn good bottles. And one of the things they always talk about when they talk about whiskey is the fellowship and stuff that you have, but the stories that it creates. And we all know this. And that's one of the main things about story time is, whiskey is meant to be shared, particularly good whiskey. But it's the relationships you build and it's the stories that come out of sharing a good bottle with others. So I appreciate them, and they are a great group of people, and particularly Shane, who hangs out there, and he pops on from time to time to say hi. But if you guys don't know anything about Storytime, go ahead and go to storytime.com or go in there and Google Storytime, and if Shane pops on, we'll make sure we get the email address just so you can see what it's about. But anyway, appreciate everybody that's here. Isaiah, always appreciate you. Thank you for stopping in. Richie, always a pleasure to see a man of whiskey like that. Mr. Davilar, I am very, very impressed. I hope you and the missus aren't staying up too late on account of me, but I do appreciate it. For that is for darn sure. Daniel, great seeing you. I haven't seen you in a minute. Oh, Richie, thank you very, very much for posting that. The people that are new and are kind of just lurking in the background, Richie had posted Shane's link to the distillery. So give me a minute as I get down there. Jay, great to see you, and congratulations on that nice little bottle from Livewire Whiskey. Hey, Mike, good to see you too. Well, I always want you guys to say hi and appreciate you, really. Here is the link, people. I'm going to leave it up there for a few seconds so you all can see it. Like I said, they really do some great bottles, and they're all picks. And I know that Shane personally tastes them himself. So he is not going to go ahead and put something out there that isn't worth a darn. And as a disclaimer, no, this channel is not supported in any way, shape, or form by Storytime Distillery. I just happen to know the people behind it, and the one I'm talking about in particular is an exceptional person. So that being said, just want to make sure that everybody understands that. But tonight, one of the things I wanted to talk about, and it came up in discussion, and I don't know if this has ever happened to any of you, but have you had people over your house and they may not know that you are into whiskey in general, be it bourbon, be it Irish, or be it Scotch, but they happen to notice you have a couple of bottles, or like I do, I have shelves of it. And not only is it in this particular room, but I have a small little area out in the dining room where I keep a half dozen or so bottles and some glasses. So I don't have to keep running back here. But generally that will start a conversation about whiskey, right? Yeah. So it came up in a conversation. They wanted to know basically about whiskey because they're novices. They don't know. They know Jack Daniels. They know Jim Beam. Southern Comfort is a lot of the ones I get, and I kind of cringe a little bit. And I say to myself, Southern Comfort is not whiskey, but don't blurt that out. But anyway, um, so a conversation starts, and so they generally ask, well, how do go about selecting your whiskey? And being that I said selecting my whiskey, I've got to put a little something in my glass, and because this is one of those times where we're going to share a little story here, and I'm going to just pour some Smoke Wagon, just a little straight bourbon. I forgot, not that I opened this bottle, but I opened this one at the holiday, but forgot that I had already opened another bottle, so I had to finish that one. Now I'm going to work on this one here, but I just want to do a little pour as I'm talking here, telling this little story over a glass of whiskey. So they asked me, in general, how do I decide, or what makes me determine what whiskey I buy? And we all have a process, a way that we decide what our next bottle is. In the beginning, we are usually got that FOMO, and we're buying the latest and greatest, the next best thing out there because somebody talked about it and we saw a review on it. We read something on it. Oh, we saw it on YouTube, so it's got to be good, right? So we've all done it. We've all been down that road and made these purchases. But anymore, and I think that there isn't anybody that I see in chat right now, and I don't know about everybody online, but that's watching. But we have a process. And what I mean by the process is we have a way of doing things. And I put thought into it before I purchase the next bottle. I'll do a little research on it. I'll ask people in general, particularly the people in chat that's in here right now, and I will talk to them about it. And no, I don't feel I'm an influencer, but I know we talked about that, Jacob. I know you and I have talked about it. I know I've talked about that with others because I've asked specifically this question about YouTubers and how we as reviewers, people that have these discussions about whiskey, do we really influence others? Well, in a way, yes, we do. Yes, we do. And that, you know what, Steve, that's funny you should say that because, I tell them I don't have a problem drinking, as you can evidently see that. I definitely don't have a problem drinking, but I don't drink every day. I don't drink every night. I generally take 4 or 5 days off, sometimes 6. I only drink 1 day a week. It just depends on what's going on. But I have a process of how I do certain things. I really like to research the stuff. I like to ask you in chat. I like to ask my friends what they think about it before I make purchases. And I bring my wife, and it drives her crazy because we will go on the hunt, and we've all went whiskey hunting, but we'll go on the hunt and I'll hit 3 or 4 different stores and I won't buy a thing, but I will see what's out there. I just don't impulse buy because I researched it. I heard other reviews on it. People tell me it's good. I know their palate and I jump out and I buy it. I don't do that anymore. So I go through this whole process, and everybody that's in chat, you don't think about it, but you probably do the same thing. You probably go through the same process when you're deciding what bottle to buy. I just broke it down for these people so they could understand. And they said, wow, that seems like a lot of work. Well, it really isn't when you enjoy this collecting hobby. But we get so good at it that we're able to move right through this list. But the selection process is the thing. Am I going to choose a bourbon? Am I going to choose a rye? Am I going to choose an Irish? Am I going to choose an American single malt? Am I going to choose a Scotch? as my next purchase. So after I've done the thought and I've done the research and talked to others, done the hunt at the store, I make my purchase. I choose that particular bottle. But then once I choose that bottle, it's not like I run home, rip the top off, pop that cork, and pour it in a glass, because for me, it's about the preparation. And particularly if I am going to share that bottle with others. Does that make sense? So I think about the bottle. I think about the room I'm going to use when I make a particular presentation, or I'm going to share a bottle because I have a group of people there. I choose the glass I'm going to use, like a Glencairn, okay? Or is it going to be a rocks glass? But I will tell you, very, very rarely. And I can't tell you the last time I used a rocks glass in the last 2 years. I have them at the top part of my shelf, and they probably have dust in them, so they're due to be cleaned again. But I choose the glass to best express the notes within the spirit that I have poured. And generally, it is the Glencairn. And I have a couple of others. I just don't have them within my grasp. And I like to use the Glen caps. And I don't know if you guys ever seen these ones here by Big Vic. I love a Glen cap. And there are many times I will, after I pour these for people, I put the caps on them, because it's all about the presentation, because I really want them to experience this whiskey, this spirit, whichever you want to call it, this juice, the right way. And the right way is it's just my opinion. Your way is different. Your way of choosing is different. And that is absolutely fine. You choose, or you enjoy things how you want to enjoy them. But I kind of have this process that I do. And sorry if I'm looking down, just got some notes. I want to make sure I'm kind of following along on what I want to do. But I will do this stuff and leave it set there, because I know that a fresh bottle needs just a little time, 10, 20 minutes to let it open up a bit in your glass. I like to build up some of the notes as far as for the nose on there, and let some of the ethanol dissipate from the glass before we experience it. But I want them to appreciate what I've poured, but also the craft that went into making that particular spirit. I want them to enjoy it. Now, it's not for everybody. Not everybody likes everything that I may pour for them. I mean, we're all the same way. I mean, it's good, but it's just not my jam, not my cup of tea, whatever you want to call it. So when I make the pour and I do the presentation, I like to talk about the whiskey in general. Not so much go into all of the tasting notes or the different notes I get when you nose a glass on there, but I just explain it to them a little bit so they can understand why I do it. And I may not particularly highlight the notes that are in that bottle, because I believe I can impart that suggestion to you. In other words, if I say it's grapes, if I say it's bubblegum, if I say it's licorice, if I say it's like chewing rubber or smells like a burnt tire, if I'm doing a peated scotch, I believe you start to get those notes. So I talk about something totally different than what I got. And if you're a novice or a neophyte, which is a beginner, it's easy for me to help you understand what you're going to experience. So because you're not tainted by anything else. Now, I'm not worried about anybody that's in chat or watching this thing online right now, because I know you have a more developed palate, and I would not go into that, but I would do the preparation just like I said, because I want you to have the best experience. But then after that, I give them the opportunity to go ahead and take the Glen off, or to pick up the Glen and take the cap off the Glen, and let them nose that thing and really take the time to enjoy this spirit for what the spirit is in the glass, and have them sip it. and have them. And I coach them. I like to coach them because I want them to really understand it. When I say just hold it after you take that sip in your mouth for a few seconds, allow those flavors to just kind of work through, just to really absorb in. So you're picking them out. And I don't, even though I am I like proof in a whiskey because I do believe it imparts a lot more flavor in the whiskey than the lower proofs. But I'm not going to start somebody out at 130, 127 proof, particularly if they're a novice. I'm definitely have no problem in putting down the Smoke Wagon Straight, something like that, an Emerald Giant, somewhere along that line in the 92, 95 proof range, something that is going to be good. Even grabbing a bottle of Eagle Rare, something that I know is not going to set them back or cause them to gasp for air, because I want that experience to be memorable. And I want it to be a good time and a good story for them to tell somebody else. So I really do like the act of preparing this stuff, just like when I'm preparing for this and I make my pour, I kind of thought about this already. I've made my selection. I have done the preparation. I have set the stage for this type of experience. And I don't think there's anybody that doesn't quite work in this same manner when they are doing a tasting for others. And I've done them a lot this past summer, and some of you maybe even heard me talk about it when I go up to camp. And I bring 6, 8 different bottles up there, and there's a couple of people there that I do tastings for. So I pour something from all those bottles for these people up there and go over it, and we really go through this, and I let them experience it and get these different notes out of it and what they like and what they don't like. And I started them off at basically 90 proofers and took them straight up to ladder to 30, 34, 36 proof, 136 proof, excuse me. When I'm saying that, it's not 34 proof, but I took them right up that ladder, and they've learned to appreciate it and taste some of these expressions that I have sitting here. Normally, they're not going to touch ever because it's just not within their budget, and it's just not something that they would do. So I enjoy sharing this experience, and I share it this way. And I'm sure many of you, like I said, do the same thing, but you do it day in, day out, that the process for you is quite quick. I don't believe this is something that you rush. I don't believe it's something that you can just, run right through. I'm at the point now in my stage as far as my journey through bourbon, through Scotch, through Irish whiskey, through American malts, that I pick and I choose wisely. I choose the experience. I choose to research. I choose to make a wise choice. And with that gives me confidence that the money I'm spending on some of these bottles will be worth it, because the experience in the end, and when I get to share it with others, is the reward that I want people to have, to be able to experience something like this that they just don't normally do. And a lot of the channels, they review, but do they really just talk about this experience and how it's done, or how they particularly do it? And everybody probably has something a little different in the way they do things, but it's fine. It's okay. Everybody doesn't have to do everything the same, but everybody has a process. Everybody has a way. Everybody wants to make good choices. And believe me, I've made some bad choices and stuff like here, and I thought I'd done the research, and it wasn't a very thrilling moment. That's for sure. But in general, I have made many, many excellent choices, because I do believe I like to take the time and research to talk to you all that's here in chat right now, that's come to listen to me talk about whiskey a little bit. But for me, one of the more rewarding things is just having the open conversation and sharing this juice with others, sharing my experiences with everybody that's here. It gives you a time when you make a pour like this and sharing it with others, a time to show appreciation, to give somebody an experience that is it still working now? Can everybody hear me? Sorry about that. There we go. See? You think this is the Mounted Pub. Must be a stream with Scotch Down Under. Don't ask me how. I just noticed that let me just make sure it's connected. Yeah. For some reason, the cord popped out from the bottom of the mic, and I have no idea. It's the second time in a stream that's ever happened to me, but did it again. So, never mind. I know why. Chair leg caught it. All right. So definitely was an operator error there when I somehow slid in there. It must have gotten that. So I apologize there. But anyway, good. Everybody hears me now. Perfect. But like I said, the experience to me, the time I get to spend talking with others, sharing this, I like to do that. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy talking to you all, and sharing stuff like this. And the last 2 nights, including tonight, it's not that I'm not paying attention to chat. I just want to kind of get the story out. I want to let people know that, hey, this is my feelings. This is what I like. This is how I do my selections. And like I said, I think that everybody on here does it almost the same way. You may have a different order, the way you do it. It may not be as drawn out, but we all have a process on how we select our whiskey and what influences us. And as Jack said before, that, I'm an influencer. Okay, yes. In a way, yes, I am. Because if, like, I held up that Taylor cake a couple of weeks ago and I did a review on that. And I said, yep, it's definitely good. It's a buy. And I know a couple of people that specifically went out and got it because of what I had said, that it was good and it was worth picking up. And it is good. And it was worth picking up. And I actually had a pour of it tonight, and I haven't had a pour of it since I did the review a few weeks ago. And Time in a Bottle also has done it justice. I think that the little oxidation in there really, really did make a difference. So that being said, I hope everyone has a good pour here tonight. And, you can either agree or not agree with what I do, which is okay, and how I select it on there. But I got a little poll, and I'm going to let that poll go a little further before I see what the majority of the results are on your purchase decisions when you do that. I don't know if you guys saw that on there, but right now, people choose, and right now, recommendation, in other words, price isn't the biggest influencer on what they pay. And you know what? That is true. I am the same way. For me, price is not always the influencer to me. And I don't want to say I don't care what the price is, but if the recommendations are good on it, and it's something that after I've done my little bit of research on the particular bottle, what's in it, what are some of the notes, does it appeal to my palate, I'm going to buy it. More than likely, I'm going to buy it. There's no doubt about it. And I do. So I'm going to end the poll here, and let's just see what we got. Well, just like I said, recommendations come out on top 60-40 with 35 people doing it, which honestly, I really thought it would be the majority of you would say that your choices are influenced by recommendations on there. So that being said, I totally agree. I totally agree with that. And recommendations are a vital part of your purchase. So in essence, it's an influencer. And why? Oh, sorry. I say, why isn't this thing cooperating with me tonight? Anyway, let's see if it'll work now. Bingo. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Now it got popped up there. Perfect. Sorry about that. It's just being obstinate here, and part of it's on the YouTube side because I'm looking at a few things here and I can see what's happening that you can't because I'm looking at a different monitor. But okay, seems to have caught up. YouTube just seems to be a little slow here tonight, so I apologize if I lag, but I just checked my internet connection and I'm zooming on along here without a problem. It's just YouTube's being a little slow. But anyway, let's just go back here and chat a little bit because I saw, there it is. It's funny you should mention Redbreast today, Bill. We were talking about that on Livewire whiskey because when they spun the wheel, one of the ones well, they were drinking Irish. And so we were talking about the cask strength and we were talking about the PX. And of course, the standard 12. And then they have what's the blue one? Is it the straight? Hold on, I have to look. Or the small batch, that's it. And of course, you've got the last style, which really this is good. That's for sure. So it's funny you should mention that because that was a topic of discussion on there, and I really need to go back and visit those bottles for sure. They're a very good drop and really enjoy them. Been lurking and driving for Nevada paving. Yes, I sure hope you're not anywhere around the 15 and Tropicana because that's closed. So that is a nightmare up there. That's for sure. Having a pour of Four Roses Small Batch Select. Yeah, yes, I can understand that. Now, Four Roses, depending upon that bottle, Matt, and I think you and I have talked about this on the phone or through FaceTime, but depending upon the batch, depending upon the bottle that you get, wow, there can be some fluctuations as far as the flavor to it. The standard, Four Roses that everybody had known. My great grandfather drank that. I don't like that one. I don't like that one. But the one you have, the small batch, the select, um, I can tolerate that. That's okay. When you get down to the other end, no, it just doesn't do it for me. That's for sure. And you know what, Bill? That is, I agree. It's not anything that we absolutely need. It's a want. And I like to share this and I like the experiences I get. I like the time that I can just sit there and have a pour and either reflect on the day or just sit and listen. And if that makes sense, like when I'm up at camp and everything's set up and we get there for the evening, go up, grab a Glen, pick one of the bottles out of the sack I brought up there, sit down and have a pour and just be still and listen. To me, that is a perfect time. I don't have to talk. I don't have to listen to anybody. I'm just sitting there and being still and enjoying that drop that I poured in the glass. That is a perfect, perfect time. And um, you know, that's just me. And that's just what I enjoy doing. And you know what? Sometimes, and I will say this, it's not worth bringing really good hooch to a family function, particularly when you've got people there that aren't going to grasp the complexity of the spirit you're bringing, understand the craft that went in to creating it, blending it, what they were trying to achieve with that particular spirit to obtain the flavors that they wanted. I mean, I can say that to everybody here, and you understand exactly what I'm talking about when I discuss this because we can appreciate that. I can appreciate the boutique or very very small distillers who are nowhere near the capacity of the major bottlers, the major distillers here, like even Smoke Wagon. In comparison to some, they are small. You know, if you're putting them up against Jack Daniels, an established brand like that, they're a drop in the bucket. But when you get into more boutique type of distillers, um, to me, now you could really be getting into some mighty fine, fine whiskey. Or you move them from American whiskey or bourbon into another spirit like Irish or Scotch, and you develop them as you go along. It's enjoyable, particularly when they start to understand what you are seeing in this. Okay. And let me tell you what, Troy. Here it is. I was like, I think I still have it here. There. That's my companion right there. This thing is a great little flask to take along. I enjoy it. It has a great little top on it, to which its metal is a nice stopper. Yes, I have a funnel, so I can pour whatever I want in there, and never had it leak anything that comes out here. Never, ever, never. And so I agree with you on that. I have done that on occasionally, and I tote that with me rather than having the bottle along. So I'll pour what I want in here and take it with me. But it does make for a nice time, particularly. Sorry, just need a little bit of a drink there. Particularly
What's up, Anthony?
when, Mark, cheers, man.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, dude, I'm just bullshitting here on YouTube, believe it or not.
Yeah, I'm just bottling up some samples for somebody.
You are?
Yeah, and I was listening to what you were talking about. Last year, I talked about the similar thing in one of my videos about choosing the right bottle to take to a party, because there's gonna people that just like take it and slam it and not appreciate it, or they're gonna like mix it half and half with Dr. Pepper or something like that. So it can't be something that you're gonna get butthurt about. It's got to be something that you want to just to share it graciously and not worry if you take the bottle home. If it just disappears, then you're fine with it. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, it truthfully is, and I have taken at least 6 to 8 different bottles up when I go to camp and done tastings for people up there at least a half dozen times.
yeah,
Or when I see them, say, hey, I'll be back in 2 weeks and we're going to do rye. I'm bringing up 5 or 6 rye, and I know they're particularly rye guys, so I'll bring them up when we do tastings. But yes,
yeah,
you want to choose your spirits wisely when you're going to places, like you said, because you're going to get people that are going to try and, like you said, do shooters of your special reserve Jack Daniels.
mm-hmm.
They're not going to appreciate that.
Yeah,
they're not going to appreciate that. And you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but you
This
can't
isn't
just
standard Jack
bring
Daniels.
something you want to get rid of, because if there's someone there that does appreciate it, then you want to be able to enjoy it with them. So you got to find that middle ground. Like, it's okay if I don't take this bottle home tonight and it just disappears, and I'm not even going to worry about how people enjoy it. Just I'm bringing it to enjoy.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. You're bringing to enjoy, and I hate to say this, but if I bring this to a party, I'm filling it with exactly what I want in here, because I'm the one that's meant to enjoy this.
Yeah, because that's for personal use. That's not for sharing.
Well, I do, because people say, "Oh, what are you drinking?" And I laugh and go, "Well, the good stuff." Because I've seen what's at the bar and go, "Oh, I cannot drink that stuff." And especially when I see a bottle of Fireball sitting on the counter, it's like, yeah, sorry, that even makes me kind of just start to hack a little bit there, because it's just not my cup of tea. Just not my cup of tea. I mean, I know people that drink Fireball and mix it and whatever.
It has its place. It has its place in the world.
It does have its place in the world, but not in my world. Yeah, not in my world. I'm sorry. I've never had it across these lips, and I have no intention on doing that. Yeah. But I like to create the experience. I like to go through that process. And it drives my wife crazy sometimes, because we'll do some hunting. And I mean, she's holding bottles up. Hey, how about this? How about that? How about this? And nah, it's this, it's that, and no, I'm not looking for that. What are we looking for? Well, I'm looking for this one. I'm looking for that one. Oh, well, here it is. Yep. Okay. What do they want for it? All right. Well, we getting it? Nope. Well, what do we come out here for? Now I know they have it. I also seen some other things, and it's like, I got to go home and I got to look this up.
Yeah.
I got to go look this up. I got to see what's going on here, because I like the profile on this way better, and I haven't tried that. But anyway, it's just me. The thrill is going through these steps to figure out exactly what it is I want next.
Yeah.
That's
the experience that you enjoy.
It is the experience that I enjoy on there. So I have a process. I just don't buy to buy. Now, I will buy some things to have backups and to buy them. Okay, to buy, yes.
Yeah.
And but anymore, unless it's something that I find I can't live without the backup. I don't buy even backups anymore. Rarely.
Yeah.
Rarely. I did back up the Tail of Forest. I did do that. I have backups to pretty much all of my smoke wagons, from straight bourbon to uncut, unfiltered. The only one I don't have backed up is the younger, and I've never even cracked it yet
Oh,
because
okay.
it's the straight bourbon. Just
Right.
instead of being 92 proof, it's 112, something like that. I can't remember the proof on it. It's just
Yeah.
it's amped up.
Yeah.
I heard it's good, but
It's okay. It's okay.
yeah. Well, I've got it.
Yeah.
It's sitting up there. I just haven't opened it yet. I will one day because I do like higher proof,
Yeah.
but I enjoy sipping on this straight bourbon as a daily just sipper. You know?
Yeah, I got to try a sample of the younger, so I just had 1 ounce of it, and off that 1 ounce, you can't go too far into it, but I can tell you that I wouldn't buy a backup of it either.
Mm-hmm. So I got my first Heaven's Door a little over a week ago.
Like first ever?
Yeah. Yeah, I just was never interested in Dickel juice. But this is a pick
Oh, wow,
from
yeah.
Delaware. My nephew dropped it off to me.
120.9?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, 120.9 from Atlantic Liquors over there in Delaware. So he has his bottle number is 130, mine is 131.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
You guys got sequential, yeah.
Well, I've never had it. He found the pick, and next thing I know, he dropped it off here. So I've never had Heaven's Door. Now, just funny, one of my go-to stores here, they just got their own pick. I forgot about it, or I would have went there this weekend and tried it, because they'll have a bottle behind the counter, and when I come in, if it's one of their picks or something like that, they'll pour me a little taster.
Oh, nice.
And they'll say, "What do you think?" And I tell them, I say, "Oh yeah, this is good." Or I'll tell them, "You're not really selling that, are you?"
Yeah, I wish every store did that, to where if they have a store pick, they should have a bottle that they'll sample out.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I do like that particular place. They do a great job with that. Andrew's been there with me, and we have sampled a few things that they have, and it's just a nice little place to go. But they have a good selection. You know, Shane had been there, Mike and Adam had been there,
Oh, nice.
Chris and Lil, Vic, Mash Bill, when they were here for whiskey weekend. We did a
So
trip
if anybody
there.
comes into town, you take them there.
This was planned. So yeah, this was planned, and then we went to a couple of other places through there. So, and you know what? I was just going to say, yeah, they don't allow that. But you know what's funny? The places that generally will not allow whiskey samples, they will allow you to sample like wine and certain liqueurs, because the proof is like 30% and wine is like 15% or less. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when you get into hard liquor, it goes up there. But you know what? The little plastic Dixie cups they give you, like you would get at the doctor's office, and they drop your pills in, believe me, you would need an awful lot of those. Okay. Yeah. And it's just not going to happen. But I got it. And
Yeah,
sure.
I've been to a few distilleries that they do tastings out of those. And I'm just like, dude, just have glass. I mean, then of course you got to wash them, and there's all other stuff. I mean, having those little cups makes it easier. I get it, but if you want the people coming in just for a tasting to really experience it, you're gonna give them a little.
If they're paying to do that tour and they paid the price to do the tasting, you better put it in a Glen for me.
Right.
I'm not asking for an ounce and a half,
Right.
but give me a pour that I can actually sample
Mm-hmm.
and pick it apart a little bit to where, do I like this? Do I like that? What am I getting? What's the nose? What's this? Do not take an eyedropper and drop it into that thing and say, okay, here's your sample. It's like, where is it? Yeah. Give me a sip.
Yeah.
I'm not your average Joe.
Yeah.
I mean,
we
come on.
We went to one. They gave it to us like when we did a tasting when we got a flight. They gave them to us in shot glasses.
Okay.
Okay, like I don't know. It's the only distillery that we went to where they gave us it in shot glasses. There was a bunch of them that gave us the little cups, and there was a bunch of us that gave us in Glens, but there was only one that gave it to us in shot glasses.
Well, I wouldn't have a problem with that. At least there I can get a taste of it.
Yeah.
That
because it was a full shot.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That's an ounce pour at least.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like I said, I'm very fine with that. I don't have a problem with that. It can be in a shot glass. And if you talk to Old Man Joe, he believes bourbon is meant to be drank out.
Yeah, that's right. I've heard him say that before.
Oh yeah, he brings it with him. He
Yeah.
brought it with him here to Vegas, and he would drink out of that here, and that's just what he believes. And you know what? I'm good with it. If that's what he wants to drink out of, I am so good with it.
Oh yeah,
Woodinville does it right. Proper tasting in a Glen.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that, Steve, because regular Woodinville, their standard expression, I think it's shite. Okay, but you get to Woodinville like this one that I drank on Thursday. Let me slide this over here real quick. This is a pick. Okay, at one. Where am I sitting here? 118 almost, 117.5.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And this is from this is the one I do believe it's from. Hold on. Is it Liquor? Where am I? I want to say. Yeah, it's from Liquor Lineup because I got another one from Corey's. I had to look for a second. Yeah, Liquor Lineup. But this is really, really good. But the standard Woodinville, the 90 proof.
Now, has it been a long time since you've had that, the standard?
About 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
We went.
I just don't care for it. I mean,
yeah,
I will try it again at some point because I always go back.
Right.
It wasn't terrible. It was just like, it's just like Frey Ranch. Their standard expressions in the bourbon and the rye, they're good. They're not my cup of tea, and I've said it more than a dozen times. But these store picks that I have, this is the latest one I just picked up from Liquor World. This one's only 124, but one of the ones I got is like 130 on the proof. These picks like this with the higher proof, holy shit.
Yeah.
It just blows everything out of the water. Now, this one I just picked up just before Christmas from Liquor World here. And the Frey Ranch pick is generally $80 to $90. It just depends on the store that did the pick and what they feel. Well, for some reason, they were blowing these out just before Christmas, and I picked up one, and I picked them up for $39.99.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had no choice.
Yeah.
But to do that, I had no choice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Troy? Like I said, I would try it again, but it's just not anything that I'm going to run to do. I didn't like that. But these picks of Woodenville,
Oh, the
hey,
picks are amazing.
the picks. I'm sorry, it's like these picks are so good. But you know what? It's the proof. The proof does bring out more flavor, and if it is too hot for you, okay, then add a little bit of water. You can proof it down a smidge to get
Yeah.
it to your liking. But if you ended up adding 2 ounces of water to an ounce of whiskey, please just give me the damn bottle, okay? And go back to your Jack Daniels, the 80 proofer. Yeah, because I've seen people dump water in whiskey, and I was a very, very staunch opponent of it. Like, you are ruining whiskey. I have since changed. I don't mind it now. I do not do it often,
Yeah.
but I will do reviews to where I will take my scientific measuring device, which is a straw cut, and literally put drops of water in to a Glen to change it, especially Scotch, when we're north of 46 ABV. Very rarely do I do it at 46 ABV, and
I thought you were
I'm
gonna
not.
bust out one of these.
I don't. I lost my pipettes. I have a couple of them, and I don't know what happened to them, but they're here. I just set them somewhere so I, know where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where they are. And it's funny. I actually thought about that today, and I was looking around here in the drawer here I have at this desk and the shelves I've got here. I'm like, what did I do with them? But anyway, so I've just been cutting off straws, dipping them in some water, and boop, boop. I'm getting 2 drops or 3 drops of water, and I'm so good with that. So good with that.
So what's up, buddy? How's it going? What are you drinking over there tonight?
Oh,
Matt?
yeah, I'm just drinking Four Roses. So it's the
Small batch select.
small batch select.
Nice.
I did a thing, Uncle Anthony. I think you did it a little while ago, where you kind of put a Glen cap on it. You let it sit for about 24 hours.
I did that just a couple of weeks ago, and what was that I poured? And I forgot that it was in there because I got on other things, and then I came back in, and it was I know it was a Scotch. And I want to say it may have been that Tale of Forest, because I had a couple of different pours, and I put the Glen cap on and I pushed it aside, and I went to 4 or 5 other things that night. I don't remember, but I know I drank it on Sunday morning on Scotch Down Under because it was there, and I had my coffee, and I go, what's the difference of pouring Irish whiskey in my coffee or just drinking Scotch out of a Glen? Yeah. So I wasn't going to waste it, but yeah, I left it sitting there for 24 hours basically. And it was covered. It didn't change colors. It didn't get stale or anything like that. No, actually it was pretty damn good.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm running into with this. It was different because I did like 2 glasses. I had one last night, and then I just let this one chill throughout the entire day, and it's just a little different. Nothing that's like crazy 100%, but just a little.
Did you just open that bottle in the last couple days?
I did.
Okay. So best thing to do is after this now, when you put the cork in that bottle, pour yourself another one before you go to bed. That's fine.
Yeah.
Don't touch it for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Don't touch it. Go to something else. Yep. Because now you've gotten at least 2 or 3 glasses in there. You've got some, I call it fresh air in the bottle. Let the oxidation work on the bottle and don't touch it. You've got other things to drink. I know you do. I've seen it. So
I got a Jefferson's that Ocean.
You still
one.
trying to do that 26? Is that what it is?
It's a Voyage 25.
It's close.
It's not bad.
I heard the 25 is pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I was on. Well, we were drilling all weekend, so we were on base all weekend, and I saw the Jefferson's Ocean there, and it went up again another $10 than it was last month. And last month it was like $10 more than the month before, and so this time last year it was like $80 on post, and now it's like 112.
Speaking of that, keep your eye out for another Heroes edition.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
My buddy here needs one.
Okay.
And particularly if it's another one rather than Melvin's. Because that's the last two you dropped off.
But the proof is different. Right? The proof is different on those, right? They're different barrels. Because the last one I got was the highest proof I've ever seen there. It's 132. And it was a pick from Melvin. Because Melvin is the Navy veteran who's the manager of the distillery. And so I've got like 5 different barrels from him so far. Now, if I sent you 2 of the same barrel, I'd be surprised. But it's possible. Because I have a 125, a 126, a 128. This one's 132. I don't remember what the 4th one was. But yeah, all the ones I've gotten were a different barrel and proof.
Well, anyway, I don't remember his, and I'm like, what the hell did I do with mine? It's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I know it is.
I know the one that the one that I sent you was either 127 or 128. Proof wise.
I think it's 127 on the one that the first one, and then the second one I took to him.
Yeah.
But he needs that other one that he wants to give to his son's godfather who retired out of the Air Force.
Yeah, they just had another drop. It's the highest proof I've seen of any Heroes. It's 132.9. And I grabbed the last 2 on the shelf. Got one for Troyman, got one for me. And I went to every other store on base and nobody else had any. And so I don't know if they're all sold out or if they're waiting for the next
I don't even see them here, but
yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah,
but I do
keep
your eye out.
Next time I see one, I'll grab one for you.
Yep. I got that's a standing order. Yeah. So yeah, just pick that up. That's fine. No hurry, no rush, or anything like that. But I do know that. Yep, he wants that. And whiskey uncensored. Yes, yes. I had to get a different hat for you, so I made sure I got a new hat. That fat man in a red suit brought this for me.
No, but one of my Army buddies, CeeLo, he's been on my channel before. He gave me a sample of Horse Soldier's small batch, and I told him that I had it like a year and a half ago when it first came out, and I didn't like it at all. And he said the new stuff that just came out is better, and it is better, but the barrel strength and the straight bourbon is still better than their small batch.
Yeah.
Not crazy.
Cheers, Steve. Ben, this is one of the finest off the racks you can buy. This one is not a custom. However, it's given me an idea for my next one. But yeah, this is literally one from 10th Street Hats out of Chicago. It's a Biltmore. Made in I do believe this one should be made in the U.S. Yes. This one's made here, but this is a Biltmore hat. I have a couple from that particular company. I call them off the rack ones. They're not the bespoke ones. So if this one flies across the parking lot or something like that, I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, I just wanted to try something a little different. So there you go.
All right, I'm going to get into this. Troyman gave me a sample of the BJ pick of the Yellowstone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess Bourbon Junkies did a Yellowstone pick. So Shoreman gave me a sample of that. So I'm going to try that bad boy before I get off of here because I got to get my stuff ready for work tomorrow.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got to be at work at 5:30 a.m.
Ew.
Yes, I do. Hey,
Yeah.
Ben, is that on the 23rd for that? And why don't you work your? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you are. Drop that link, Ben, for Whiskey Crusaders thing in chat, and I'll put it up.
Oh, it's got a tip of the tongue is real nice and smooth, sweet vanilla. Then in the middle of the palate, it sparks a weird funk. I'm surprised this is a pick.
Really?
It's all
What's
over
it
the
like?
place.
What's it like? I mean, I know you said it's funky, but
Hold on. Yeah, sweet vanilla candy on the front. But in the sides of your tongue, middle of the palate, there's the barrel char gets really bitter. The finish is peppery and nice, but the bitterness of that like kind of stringent barrel char in the middle is kind of off-putting.
is it reminiscent of young whiskey?
I wouldn't call it young because I wouldn't call the bitterness sharp, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
I know you know what I mean.
Yeah. I got what you're saying.
Yeah, because when it comes to stuff that comes out just too young, to where it's like, no, the whiskey wanted to stay in the barrel. Why did you do that? You know, it's like a really sharp, like a hay spike.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not getting that.
Hmm.
That's 115 proof. Well, that drinks light for 115.
Yeah. Well, to me, that's a plus because I had the 45th parallel Wisconsin wheat. It's Dan's Deathless Dog pick. All right.
Yeah.
And I would not have guessed this thing at 120 proof. And I don't remember what I said, but I think I said, I don't think I'd have pegged this thing much more than 110 because it'd have been a struggle for me to get to that. But this was damn good. That pick that Deathless Dogs did.
Dan sent it to me as well. I haven't cracked it yet.
Well, you need to do that. You don't have to do it tonight, but you need to do that.
Well, yeah, I told him that, I really appreciated him sending me one.
Well, I did too.
Yeah,
but
I wanted to do a video review of it.
I mean, oh my gosh, it was just really damn good.
Yeah.
Really good. And it didn't drink 120, like I said, 110. And I'm trying to remember what I said, but thinking about it in retrospect, yeah, maybe 110. I mean, it definitely would never have picked 120 on that. So if I did that a blind, I wouldn't have gotten any points for proof. Did not going to happen. Not going to happen. But his was good. Then the other one he gave me.
Hey, Ben, I've got a Whiskey Crusaders coin.
Woohoo! Look at that. How did you get so lucky?
Man, it was probably a year. It was like when Women of Whiskeys, one of the first raffles that they did, where they had us, all chip in to some charity or something, and everybody who chipped in, were entered into the raffle. I got a Whiskey Crusaders coin, and I got the bar towel from them as well.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, whiskey.
Yeah.
And
It was like a Red Cross charity or something like that. It's like,
Okay.
of course I'm gonna. You don't have to twist my arm to get me to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whiskey Crusaders. They're
Good
good
they're a
group.
couple good dudes. Yeah, I watch them. They're usually on when I'm on my way to work and stuff. So I don't. Yeah. So I don't really. I can't really jump in the chat. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dark 30, and I'm driving to work, but I'm listening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, oh, dark 30. I will be at work tomorrow. Today. What time is it? Now it's 10 o'clock here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be at work because it's an in-service day here. So no kids in the schools, but I got to go in.
Oh.
So
Okay.
that's fine. It's fine with me. Those little angels not there. I'm good with it. That is for sure. But another one that I've got is that Jack Daniels new one. The
Twice barreled.
thank you, twice
Yep.
barreled.
Yeah, the
And I
single
just
malt
had.
in Oloroso.
Is that I don't know because
Yeah.
this was one of those that was handed to me, told me what it was, and I said thank you very much. Yeah. I'm telling you what, I don't know what the proof is on it.
107.8.
It is 107. I said it drinks kind of mild. So I was going to say it was about 100. I didn't know, but I said I tell you what, just the little pour I had out of here. This is a good drop so far.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's really good.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen a bottle of it in the wild, but it's a good drop. So if you can find that is really good. The Jack Daniels Twice Barreled. And what did you pay for that? Do you remember?
It was
Mark?
100.
I would say, is it around $100?
Yeah, it was like $100
Remember
out
that,
the door.
Matt?
Out the door.
Well, dude.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you don't want to pay $130 for that bottle because that's what'll happen to it.
I'll send you a picture of it so you can see the details on it.
Okay, I got my phone right here. But yeah, it's good. Like I said, I just had a initial sip of it. One of my friends at a bottle shop here, we exchanged samples.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
sorry, but got to do what I got to do to get that little edge from time to time, and I got to bring him a sample of the Glenmorangie Tale of Forest because he was interested in it. And I said, let me get you one because I know he's a Scotch guy too. And I said, but it's the most unusual Scotch you will have because of the tasting notes that are in there. It is not something that is not something that you're just going to get on a Scotch at all. It's just not. Hold on, all right, I got it.
Yeah. I don't know if you can read it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
53.90, 107.8.
Yep.
Twice barreled special release American single malt.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can see I've put some loving on the bottle already.
No, that's all right. That's what it's for. But
it's good.
What I'm just saying is it was. I can tell that the Jack Daniels profile is there, but being a single malt really changed it for me.
Yeah.
For the better.
Right.
Because I'm just not.
Agreed.
I mean, I have the Jack Daniels Sinatra Select. I haven't even cracked that sucker yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I haven't cracked it yet. I still have. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm a big Sinatra fan actually. Like, it's like a guilty pleasure when a stressful day from work. You put on Sinatra on the way home. I'm not all irritable and stuff when I come home to greet the kids and whatnot. Like, Sinatra does wonders for the soul. I'm telling you.
I haven't even cracked the Special Reserve Rye from 2020. Yeah, no, I haven't cracked it. I've had tastes of it.
That maroon label, right?
The green.
Oh, the green label one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the special release one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't cracked that.
Yeah, the regular release I think has the maroonish kind of label.
There was one that also had a red or a maroon label on it. That's the rare one, believe it or not. And guess what? I had one in my hand when I had that, and somebody came up and I just wasn't paying attention. And they're like, "Oh, you got the last one." And I'm like, and I just
Aw.
passed them a bottle. I didn't pay attention. Well, you know what? Oh, I don't care because I didn't even open the one I got. But, you know, I just didn't look at that.
Yeah.
I just grabbed two off the shelf, you know? If I'd have known what I did or known what I had, paid
You
attention.
knew you would never see that again ever in
Well,
your
I
life.
wouldn't have. I would have bought both of them, but
Yeah.
because somebody came up, I had the last two.
Yeah.
I'm just like, here, you know, spread the love.
Yeah,
Karma comes back.
that just shows your natural instinct is
Yeah.
to be good to other people.
Yeah, here,
That's
take-
so good, dude. Like,
yeah, take it here.
I like it.
But it's just the way it goes. But yeah, I know which one you're talking about, and I
Yeah.
think the proof was just was a little bit higher on that one. But anyway,
Yeah.
neither here nor there. Now I know that it existed. I know I actually touched it, had it in my hand. Oh well, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Oh man, I was gonna like when I was listening to you before I jumped on, I was gonna ask you, did you try the Redbreast 15? Because when you listed off your the Redbreast, you didn't say the 15. You said every other one in their line.
No, I talked about Redbreast 15 because I said we talked about that on Livewire.
Or was that the
And,
15 you were referring to? Because that was like right when I jumped on when you said
Yeah,
we talked about Redbreast on Livewire.
Bill brought it up, and I said, speaking of 15, I said, you know, they were talking about that on Livewire, and I said,
Okay,
Mike was
that
drinking
must have been right when
cask
I jumped
strength.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike was drinking the calf strength. I said, I don't have the 15, but I've tried the 15, and I think it's good,
Yeah.
and I would probably buy a bottle of it.
Yeah.
However, I have the 12 cask strength.
That's what I was gonna say. I had
and-
never tried any Redbreast, and when I went to my buddy's house a couple months ago, I tried those two side by side, and I thought they were great. I was not
15,
expecting to enjoy them that much.
the 15 and the 12 cask strength.
Yeah,
or
those were the
12
only two he had. He had the
Okay.
12 cask and he had the 15.
That
And
12 cask is amazing.
yeah,
And I bought mine when they were under a C note. Now they're
Oh.
like 139, depending upon where you are. I mean, they jumped up $40.
just like
Well,
in
they
the
jumped
last
up
year.
a while ago, like
Goodness.
August of this past year,
Mm-hmm.
but they jumped way up. But I made sure I bought mine before that only because I knew it was coming. And so I went out and bought a backup of that. So I have a backup of that one in the cask strength that I haven't opened. But that is a caramel butterscotch, just deliciousness.
It was really, really freaking good.
It really is. So the 12, you can still get the Redbreast 12, which is good in itself. You can
Right.
still get that for $70 or less.
Right. I saw that at the store today, and they didn't have the cask and they didn't have the 15, and I was just like, all they had was the 12, and I didn't get one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only thing I got on base this weekend was a backup of Knob Creek 12-year, because I can buy it there without taxes, and
Yeah.
they'll price match. So I got that one for $49 out the door.
You can't beat that.
Yeah, for the Knob 12, yeah, you can't beat that with
no.
a stick, even if you
And
try.
no tax.
Yeah, I got a
And-
the maker's cast strength, a little slam bottle for 43 out the door.
So, believe this or not,
I was pretty happy about that.
when Top Dog was here last weekend, he and I met up at the Cosmopolitan, and I got to meet his wife and my wife and his wife and everything. But hold on, so I drank my first wild turkey decades while I was there. And I drank my first Maker's Mark Private Select from a restaurant there that I ever had.
Yeah.
And now I have no reason ever to open another Maker's Mark. But
Oh yeah.
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 So
a lot
that
of
was
the
a-
private selects are around 110, and
Yep.
they vary so much.
It was good,
Yeah.
but it actually drank hot.
Oh really?
Yeah, it drank hot. He and I both said that. Matter of fact, we tried to get a pour of Stag. They didn't have it. We tried to get a pour of Booker's. They didn't have it. There was another one we tried to get, and I don't remember, but pretty much they were out of everything. And I'm like, pretty much was the case for Whiskey Weekend. They didn't have anything. I mean,
That's
redonkulous.
unfortunate.
But anyway, but they
Yeah.
had that. And I said, well, I never had it. He says, you've never tasted Makers? I said, no, I've got 4 or 5 different bottles of it. I've had no reason to open it. And I don't. It's not like I've got people here every day
Right.
that say, oh man, I really want to try Makers. I'd run right in here and bring 4 or 5 out and go, which one do you want to try first?
Yeah.
And just put them out there and say, here, because I've never opened them. I haven't. I've got 4 Bookers, 3 Bookers and 1 little book sitting up there. I even forget what in the hell they are. Sitting there. I haven't opened them.
I've only had 1 little book, and I don't even know which one it was, but I really liked it.
Well, everyone tells me the little books are pretty good, but my problem with them is this. They've priced themselves out of the market now. In depending upon where you are. But here, that little book last year or tail end of 21. I'm going to say tail end of 21 because I picked one up for Marty. All right. And
Whiskey Knows Marty.
Yeah, Whiskey Knows Marty. Yeah, I was just going to say that. Whiskey Knows Marty. And I dropped it off to him. That's the bottle. I haven't touched it. Because I tried the Lumberjack back in September.
Yeah.
And I went, what the hell's all the fuss?
Thank you.
What's all the fuss?
You are my people.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I did too.
But
I thought it was okay. The tea batch was way better.
Well, I can get the Texas tea here for about $100. Some places 110.
Yeah.
I almost bought it, but when it hit that C note, it was like taking your fingers on a real slate chalkboard and just I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I cannot do it because it's gotten to the point where it's overpriced. It's overpriced and overhyped. So, like I said, it might still be sitting on the shelf because there's other people too that feel that, but there's more than enough people that will buy that and another one at 110 or bucks a pop. They will.
I saw a debate on Facebook earlier today where a guy was saying that he saw one that was like $120, and they were like, "Oh, that's not a good price for a Booker's," and like they were going back and forth like for days on there, and I was like, "Why are you guys like arguing about this?"
If a person wants to pay that for
let them.
It's your money.
If they can't find it anywhere else and they've been wanting to try it all their life, then let them do it.
Well, it's your money.
Yeah.
It's your money. You get what you want. But that's like this thing here.
Oh yeah.
The 10. Okay. It's $100 bottle. I think it's $80 if you're in a controlled state. I'll never see this bottle for $100 in Nevada. No. But I know places here that when I say sell it at a premium, they sell it about $100 more than what it should be. But
that's fucking
I can pick it up for $189 to $200 here. And then the places that do have it, and people tell me they fall over it, I'm like, if you fall over a case at $80 a pop, buy me a case. Because, this is on secondary, this is going up to $1,000 a bottle.
That's absolutely
That's
absurd.
how it
Now,
is. That's how it is out by me. They'll charge $1,000 for that.
Yeah.
For the 10-year, they'll charge
Yeah.
$1,000.
Yeah.
I kid you not.
I told you that.
Have you guys have obviously probably heard about the Buffalo Trace changing their distributor?
They got some lawsuit or something going on, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's right.
What I heard is that they found out their distributor, like they admitted that they were like kind of feeding into the supply and demand, and they were playing a part in it. But then they found that their distributor had like a warehouse full of stuff that they had released that the distributor was holding back to further the supply and demand. And they were just like, whoa, no, that's not your job.
But also they found out that they were making them take junk like Fireball. And it's depending on how much Fireball and other worthless
Right, you have to buy
shit
other crap to be able to buy this.
gave you
Yeah.
points, and then you could turn those points in, and using that as my analogy. It's my analogy. It's not printed, but then that points can get you maybe a bottle of Pappy 23 or 15 or an Elmer or a George T.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, as the person supplying the product, I could see if you buy one of my lower ends and one of my middle ends, I'll like make a higher end available to you. So you buy the 3-pack or whatever. But a distributor is saying you buy some of this person's scrap and that person's scrap, I'll let you buy this person's stuff. That's not your job, bro.
It isn't, but they do it, and they do it out here. I can tell you they do it out here.
Yeah.
I know people in these stores, and they straight out say, well, we got to buy this crap in order to get a case of the good stuff.
Yeah.
And again, that's my analogy, but it happens, and it happens all across the board here.
Yeah, and the next thing I would say to that would get us into a conversation that I wouldn't want to get into live on the internet.
Yeah. But no, but it's happening. And I've talked about it before, and it's happening. People might want to bury their head in the sand, but it's coming out. It's one of these topics that it's finally coming out. And hey, these guys should be strung up for that.
Yeah. So
Especially
do you
if
think
you're holding
that
back.
do you have any hopes for that distribution, availability for all that Buffalo Trace here in the future now that they're changing distributors?
Well, you know what?
I had a price
Buffalo
jump
Trace
off
isn't
that
a
me.
fool. They're not just going to flood the market.
Well,
And
I can tell you last month on base, the standard 750 of Buffalo Trace was $27. Today, they had a shelf full of it for $24.
there you go. Well,
Out here, it went up to 89.
For
For
the
regular-
750 of Buffalo Trace?
Yeah.
That's really gross.
I know.
now, Matt, you know which one he's talking about, right?
The big one?
No, just
the
the Buffalo
just-
Trace.
The regular bottle of
Because-
Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, the regular bottles.
Yeah, like standard Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, that bottle's going for 89.
I was happy that it
That's
went from
disgusting.
27 to 24. And I was like, oh, that distributor thing is happening. Man.
No, I went to 8 different stores out by me. Just, doing on my days off. Sometimes I'll just cruise around the stores. I won't buy anything. I'll just like look at the prices, see what's changed. And it was at like 70 last week. And then I went this week and they're like 89.
What?
So
but the
this
problem is, yes, that one.
That is
one's
not
89.
an $80 bottle any day.
I'll take a picture of that for you next time I'm out there, which is probably going to be on
Yeah,
like.
even on
Tuesday.
February 30th, that's not an $80 bottle.
But you know what? They're getting people that are like new to it to buy into it, and that's who they're targeting.
That's terrible.
Well, this one's even a pick, and I didn't.
Oh, you got Tom Cruise on your bottle.
Yeah.
Well, that is an $80 bottle, but you know that's just for the Cruise picture.
I didn't pay that for it.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, this particular one, Livewire got the first bottle, and I got the second bottle.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So, because Adam and I were there that day when they were bringing it into the store, and the owner gave them one. And to do a review on it, I purchased mine, but we were the only ones, I mean, before anybody else to get these.
Dude, the standard Buffalo Trace, the store picks are so good.
You know,
I like them a lot.
They can be really good.
Let me just say this. I didn't think there would be much of a difference. The difference is noticeable in the flavor. The nose, absolutely not.
Yeah, not so much.
No, because it's the same damn ash bill. But the single barrels, the picks,
right,
have, I'm not going to say a tremendous amount more flavor, but it is a step up on the ladder. And I was like, wow, this isn't bad. But what's bad is the damn thing is still, what the hell is this thing? 90 proof?
94?
Yeah. Well, it's 90. It's, it's 45 ABV. So I'm like, come on, knock this thing up.
90. Yeah.
Knock this thing up to 100 at least.
It's their it's their budget bottle, though. I mean,
I know, but if it's a pick, come on, give it some balls. I mean, come on, really.
I mean,
give it some
they're
balls.
still only giving you one Glencairn to try it.
Yeah, I've got 3 different picks right now, and they're all fantastic.
They won't even want Glencairns for your whole group to do the pick.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying they're good. They're good. I just barely got this to the shoulder, but only because it goes back in the rotation, so it got pushed back itself. That's why I had to stand there like, where is it at? Where is it at? It's here. The regular Buffalo Trace that I had, that went in a weekend up at camp. People there just, sorry, I don't mean to rebrew, but they just love this crap. They just love it. So if they like it, I take it up.
Hey.
And okay, so that's one of those bottles that if that disappeared on a night with the boys, I wouldn't cry about it.
No.
Right.
No.
So that's that middle ground we were talking about earlier. It's where it's like it's a good bottle that everybody can appreciate sipping, but if like at the end of the night the bottle's all gone and people were like chugging it like we were in college, you wouldn't cry about it.
No, not at all.
That's a good middle ground bottle. Is a Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, but it is, and just like for me, this straight bourbon by Smoke Wagon, I like this thing. This is a great bullshitting type sipper whiskey just to do this.
You need good jug bottles, man. You need good jug bottles.
This is what Mike uses. He has a red, white, and blue that he uses. You know, it's just a good whiskey at $34, 95 proof. Oh, I'm sorry, 92.5. I knew it was around there. It's 92.5, but still, it's okay. I mean, I recommend it. I recommend it to people all the time. Yeah, see, but you got stand right there. You got the red, white, and blue.
I do.
Yeah.
I like that red, white, and blue label on there.
I traveled a long way to get you that.
Oh,
it's almost gone. It's really good. Sometimes I just get distracted. I'm like, oh shit, it's almost gone.
But that's a good one. It's just a good everyday sipper.
Yeah.
You got to tell the wife she's got to lay off of it.
Oh, she don't touch it, man. That's the beauty in it. She don't like it. None of it.
Oh, I got to do a tasting for her. I'll help her. Oh, don't help you. I got it.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
She can stick with the wine, and I'll stick with this.
He's like, wait a minute. No.
Mm-hmm.
Although actually getting her off of wine might save you money in the long run, buddy.
No, she doesn't. She's a $40, $50 wine kind of person, if that. She doesn't go any higher.
Let me tell you.
But she doesn't drink the $12 bottles. That's good.
No, she doesn't drink the $12 bottles, but she doesn't go above 50. She's right in between, and she won't do anything else. She likes Duckhorn.
She doesn't have a box wine in her backpack. She has on a straw.
I was gonna say though, as people get older, the volume of wine they drink goes up, and let me tell you, $50 bottles of wine that becomes a nightly habit.
Yeah, that adds up. That adds up.
It's up real fast.
It's like $600 a month. Oh.
That sounds like a her problem,
like
not a me problem.
That's $600 a week, buddy.
That's a her problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna cheers you guys out. I gotta go get my stuff ready for work tomorrow.
Hey, cheers, brother. I will catch you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will definitely message you next time I find a bottle of that.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Thanks.
I hope you guys have a good week, and I will see you around.
You will, brother.
Right.
See you.
Yeah.
These Weller foolproofs are chameleons, man.
Which one you got?
This is a store pick of the foolproof, and I mean, every time I open it, every time I nose it, every time I taste it, it's just a different whiskey. Sometimes it's really good, and sometimes it's not.
Exactly. I'm not saying that they're always hit or miss, but there's more hits than misses, but it's 60-40. It's 60, my opinion, 60-40.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I first cracked this thing, I mean, it literally gave me some WLW, like upfront flavors. I mean, the finish wasn't WLW, but upfront, I got a lot of that, like wheater, spice, super like red fruit that you get on the WLW. And
do you drink Wilderness Trail at all, Dustin?
I dabble. I do have one of the 8 years in the other room.
Okay.
I went through one of their ryes when they first came out, and then I've had a bunch of taste at stores, but I generally don't.
Yeah.
I generally don't pick them up just because they're a little pricey for what I get. I think
they're getting there.
I think they've got a really nice malt.
I picked up a weeder.
I should say.
I picked up a weeder, a pick, 4 years or 5 years. Here it is, right here, and I like it. It's from Total Swine, and it's 4 year, 9 months, so just shy of 5 years.
Okay,
at 115 proof.
It's good proof.
It is a good proof on here, and it's a nice sipping weeder. It really, really is. So I'm just letting you know, if you come across the pick, and they have them between the weeders and bourbon, it's just like the one you got, Matt.
I've tried the wheat mash bill. I've tried the high rye. I've tried their ryes. I mean, I've tried a good bit of their stuff. I like what they're doing.
This is like 6 year.
You got the 6 year. Yeah, this is the weeder.
Proof.
You have the standard. Yep, that's one of the standard.
There's a weeder 6 year, and then there's a high rye, and then there's a standard, and they are the exact same label. Just that one little word is different on the side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I also have the standard bourbon, and that was the very first whiskey I reviewed on YouTube almost 2 years ago. And it was fabulous 6 months later, maybe 8, because it went back in the rotation and got back on the shelf. It turned into this cherry jubilee of flavor that it was a moment to where you took that sip with surprise, delight, and not to mention amazement, to where you look at the Glen and you look back at the bottle because you want to be sure that that's what you poured and go, holy shit, this thing changed. I mean, the only thing that could be better than that is Shane. See? Is Shane. Would they throw you guys off of Livewire already?
Nah, we decided we were done talking about you. We'd come over and do it to your face.
Yeah, we
Oh.
get standards around here.
We found the guy with the best looking house on the market right now as far as whiskey tube goes, and we thought we need to go somewhere where there's some class. So it seemed like the spot to go. So
Did you say class?
Well, yeah, like I said,
What the hell?
all thing I know
You
is
were just in class.
when you guys get thrown off a Livewire, we know you were bad.
Oh no,
That's all I
Livewire
can
did
say.
a long time ago.
When you get booted off of that after hours program, let me tell
You
you,
get booted off Livewire, you've done some shit.
You have done some shit.
I heard about that one day where a Livewire had standards.
That was before they went live.
yeah,
that
day wasn't today.
I heard there was a vote and they got rid of it, but
They let
one
me on.
day-
It wasn't today.
No, it was not today.
Okay, so who's in the middle up there? Up there.
That's Matt.
Hey, Matt. My name is.
Hello.
Oh man,
He's
nice
over
to meet
in
you.
Delaware, but
water.
don't hold that against him.
Oh,
Sean
are you next
is
to the
below
license?
Matt. So Matt, have you ever met Sean?
Sean, you blow
Right here.
Matt?
Yeah.
Oh, Sean just left. Oh, there.
No, that was me. I was moving.
Did you say Sean blows Matt?
So there's
Ooh.
Sean.
I don't
That is
judge other
really
men
weird.
what they do.
He's
Hey.
Whiskey Wars.
Whiskey and metal.
Tonight
Matt,
I have a different name, but usually in Whiskey Wars. Yeah, so I feel like I've been on with Matt before. I
You
could
have.
I
You
can't
have.
recall when it was, but I feel like we've been on before together.
A few
That-
weeks
that-
back.
That
He
facial
was
hair
on.
is kind of hard to forget.
Yeah, he does look
Yeah.
familiar, but
He's got that full like he shaved that this morning. By the way, for those of you who don't know, he was literally bald faced this morning.
Yeah, he's
He was-
part bear.
It was
You know-
baby's butt.
Mhm.
See,
Shane, after we were talking a couple weeks ago, I told my wife that actually I was like, we need to get that fucking Christmas tree down. Like,
It's time. It's time.
it's like,
It's now
gotta go.
Chinese New Year, so it's definitely time.
Mhm.
Well, it depends on what kind of decorations you have on it. Maybe you have, what is it, the year of the rabbit or something?
Yeah, throw some rabbits on there, live or dead, either way, and just roll with it.
Add some
Dude,
character to
You
it.
just reminded me of something. I got to show you this picture.
I would recommend, taxidermied or something, because smells are an issue.
Smells.
It's that coyotes.
Maybe smoke them. Smoking really preserves them. Some smoked rabbits on the tree.
I forgot it was the year of the rabbit.
I don't know.
I recommend
Rat.
never going over to
I don't
Sean's
know.
house, because I don't know what kind of things he's got hanging around his place.
Exactly. Exactly. So, what are you sipping on, Tommy?
I got a little 101 wild turkey.
Oh, okay.
Just a little one.
yeah.
Quick
Well,
sip.
it goes quick.
So I got this last year from a friend who had an event and it didn't sell, so I took it home. And I've had a smaller bottle and it was good. Thanks
I like
to Shane
101.
and Sean. I kind of like delved into it and it's pretty good.
I like
Yeah.
101. I'll go to that. My thing is about it is it's a little thin, but it has flavor, and it's north of 100.
Your mom is
I like
thin.
things that are
I
100.
came to this from a ECVP C919, which is 136.8.
I was just going to say,
I
yeah,
don't
you
know how
were
you
you
drink
were you
one
were you were
This
singing.
this
Yeah.
is so sweet and just drinkable.
Oh.
It's awesome.
It is. It's the total end of the spectrum, but it's how do I say?
Drop 30 proof and you can just like guzzle it.
Exactly. It's so much more approachable and it's crushable. It's almost as sexy as Shane.
So
No, it's not.
I don't know
No,
about
it's
that.
not.
I don't know about that.
Let's not get out of hand here.
It's
We
the
all
big
know what's going on.
bottom of the cabinet, so I really hardly ever open that.
The bottom
Did I
of the
forget
cabinet.
about-
Well, that's where Shane is. He is the bottom of the cabinet. Let me tell you.
Oh no.
But yeah, no. I just picked up a 750 of it in a plastic bottle.
Oh, there
that
you go.
apparently nobody wanted, and I picked it up for $9.99.
Hell yeah.
So
You know
I
it's
had to
nice.
buy it.
Yeah.
So when Hangin' AZ was on, and I've had it for about a month or more, I said, Hangin', I said, I laughed. I said, Hangin', I got something right up your alley. And I showed him, and then I turned it around for $9.99. He says, can you buy me a case for that? I said, if there had been a case there for $9.99 a bottle, I would have purchased it for that.
You sure you
Oh,
could
I bet.
afford the $60 or $120 depending on the case size?
People will not buy bourbon in a plastic bottle, even though we know what it is. People see Wild Turkey, it's in a plastic bottle, they walk away from it. I'm laughing and going, that will be gone in one night up at camp.
There you go.
I'm an alcoholic.
That is the perfect camp bottle as well, because when the fellows get together, glass bottles are not really what you want.
No.
No.
I've got some sample bottles that are plastic, and I kind of got shunned a little bit by some of the friends. And I'm like, well, what all these 50, these little 50 milliliters that you get everywhere else in the airplanes and shit, that's plastic. What's wrong with it?
Mhm.
Why can't I do samples in it? Oh, no, it's got to be glass. Okay, whatever.
So I got to show you something, Anthony. We were talking about Christmas ornaments, and it reminded me. My wife got. She worked in an office, and they gave one of the ladies there gave Christmas ornaments out to everybody, and it was the letter of their first name. So my wife's name is Tammy, and so this was the ornament they sent us.
Oh,
Hold on.
Jesus.
Right.
Okay.
Right from the heart.
Yep.
Maybe it's supposed to be a T.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a T. I would know that.
What is
I
it?
mean, and it should be right at the front of your tree, Shane.
Although I gotta say the tip of the bottom of the T being red is a little suspicious.
So it's also rounded
not
more than it's
suspicious.
supposed to be.
Can you
It
hang
is a
that?
lot suspicious.
Christmas
Can
tree.
you hang that the other way around?
Do you use tinsel at all? You could have strategically placed something there.
I just told her to throw it away. Just get it out of here.
No, you want to display that.
Well,
I'm not putting a dick ornament on my Christmas tree. I'm sorry.
Shane
I'm
doesn't
not
want to feel inadequate when the
Is
Lord
that,
is
is that what it is?
bigger than him.
I've got enough pictures of my dickhead kids on the tree. I don't need a full dick on my tree.
Hey, she does have you though, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. When she wants to see a real one, all she's got to do is look over there in the bed, and there he
God,
is.
look at that big old dickhead over there.
Stand it up right there for you. At attention.
Exactly.
Anyway, I had to share that with you, Matt. You mentioned the Christmas tree ornaments.
Oh,
That is
I
funny.
appreciate it.
That is funny though.
So, Anthony, before I pass out, what are we sipping on, man? Hopefully, I can have a dram with you.
I don't know if you can. This is
he loves
something that
Balcones, by the way.
most people don't have.
Smoke wagon.
Smoke
Okay,
wagon,
Christmas
straight.
bottle.
I mean,
bourbon.
I don't have that one. I have another smoke wagon. So we'll go with some smoke wagon here. Let's,
I just pulled that out because it's just a good sipping whiskey when you're bullshitting with friends.
That's
have
a little small
We're
batch.
bullshitting?
Yeah.
I didn't know we were bullshitting.
Yeah, bullshitting.
It feels about right.
Yes, Ben, wild turkey in a plastic bottle. You haven't
Oh,
lived
yeah. I
until
drink
you
the
put
shit
your
out of
straw in a bottle of wild turkey.
If I can put that in an IV bag.
Right.
This actually is glass.
Is straw
which I
kind
was
of a
kind of
Is it?
surprised.
here?
Yes, it's glass.
I'm surprised.
I feel like wild turkey and camelbacks is the official drink of the Marines, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Or Air Force.
Definitely.
Gas everywhere.
Anyway, cheers to you, Anthony, and everybody else on screen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to drink again this weekend, Sean. So
Yeah, I I understand the feeling. So
Get a little saucy.
this is 3 nights in a row for me. So I'm going to probably take off the rest of the week. Yeah, Dustin, indulge the folks as to what you're talking about.
Friday night, let's just say both of us were fairly intoxicated when Sean ended his 6-hour stream.
8 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh, that stream! I
We
remember
saw
that stream.
2 hours off stream, and I feel like Sean and I picked up our drinking speed once we went off camera.
Accurate.
And I'm fairly confident at one point. I don't say this very often on these whiskey tubes. I looked at Sean and I said, "I'm sorry, I'm completely hammered." and Sean just kind of had the same response back. And I think I interpreted Sean as having said coherent English, and I interpreted myself with coherent English. I'm pretty sure the replay would.
Yeah, it hadn't been recorded. It would have been like, it's something like that.
So you talked drunk, and you
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were having a great conversation, but only we could understand it.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest, by the end of it, I was struggling to understand what I was saying, and I would totally lost you there at the last 20
Wasn't
minutes.
there an episode of Family Guy where him and Lois were like high as shit, and they thought they were singing really good, and then it kind of
Yeah,
they're like,
similar to
"Oh,
that.
we get high, we sing so good."
All right, y'all. I'm going to check out. You all have fun.
Yeah.
Cheers, Tommy D.
Tommy, cheers.
Oh,
Nice hanging out with you, brother.
Cheers, Tommy. Yeah.
Cheers.
So this is my last cheers of the night. So cheers, everybody on screen. Cheers, everybody in chat.
Oh, that means we're chugging the whole thing.
last sip of the night here.
Sip. That's a chug. Go.
I'm going for about another 15 minutes because I got to be up at 0400 hours
Gotcha.
because I got to be at work.
Looking
at
a little
5:30.
unruly there, Anthony.
Yeah. So if I go to sleep right now at this very second, Anthony, I can sleep for 4 hours and 10 minutes.
Perfect. You'll
yeah.
be fine. That's all you need. And a large cup of coffee.
I don't do coffee. That makes the
Like
rest
I
of the day awful.
4 hours and 10 minutes of sleep and a large cup of coffee, and you'll be fine.
I mean, if you don't have coffee, you can always just throw ice in a bathtub and lay in there for about 15 minutes.
Or
That'll do
cocaine.
Cocaine.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. No, don't do cocaine, kids.
Get your
If
nosebleeds.
kids are watching this, we done fucked up.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Anyway,
I
last
actually heard a
cheers
person
of the
refer
night.
to ice baths as cold cane
There you go.
because you feel like cocaine afterwards, but it's supposed to be good for you.
It is supposed to be. I'll take their word for it. Anyway, cheers, everybody. Last sip,
You
I
better
tried it
drink
once.
all.
Let me tell you.
and I'm out.
I
You
didn't
guys
do
have a
anything.
great night.
All right.
All right, brother. We'll see you.
brother.
Cheers.
God, I'm glad that guy's gone.
I can't decide if I like this or not right now.
Just
You
kidding,
know-
Sean, if you're still watching.
The only thing you can do if you're not sure
Weller's
like whiskey,
Weller's picks
just pour some more.
60 40, 60% good, 40% sometimes you get shitters, and then some start off great, and then once the oxidation hits and you go back to it a week or 2 weeks or so later, it's like, what the hell am I
That is
drinking?
my experience with the full proofs is they always seem to taste good when you first crack them, and they just get worse every time you open it afterwards. It's a weird.
I have never-
any other bourbon.
I have tasted Weller's now, and I have no reason to open the ones I have. I have no reason to open them.
I would. What I would recommend is you bring a Weller full proof to a large gathering, and you all just kill it that night.
That's
Well,
absolutely right.
I'm gonna one up you. I'm gonna bring them my special reserve and just crack it and say, yeah, go ahead.
Now the thing is, I honestly like Special Reserve as
Actually,
a Buffalo Trace alternative.
of
I
the
kinda
ones
like it
I've
better.
tried, of just that $30 bottle of Special Reserve, although they sell it for stupid prices elsewhere.
They're like 22
Um,
bucks here, man. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
we can't ever even get it for $30 here.
I
but-
honestly like Weller Special Reserve over Turkey 101 all day.
but
Get out of here.
it
Go
is
punch
it
yourself
is a
in the throat.
nice little. It's
It's
a
an old
nice
Turkey
bottle.
101.
You can
New
if you
one?
can find the Weller Special Reserve for $25, $30, it's
Yep.
it's a buy. It's a
But you
bottle.
like Scotch too, Dustin. So let's be honest.
I guess I do have a more sophisticated palate.
Yeah, you can say it's sophisticated if that makes you feel important.
I'm better than you, Shane. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. In all facets of life.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I don't know about all facets, but I got you when it comes to my palate.
Yeah, dude, I'm drinking
I had
101 tonight.
when breeding kids, and you know what? I'm happy with it. But hey,
Well, that's true. I do have you beat there. That's for sure.
I'll never. I hope I never come close.
I've got most people beat there.
Yes, you do. Yes.
This is what
you
I'm drinking tonight.
See, that's
Well,
an
you
old
just
lady.
cracked that tonight, didn't you?
Nah, it's been cracked. But that's a 2018 bottle.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
And it's-
one of
Those
the other
old
reasons
labels
you could
taste like
tell
wild turkey. Like the new ones don't.
the new ones are different. Everyone's telling me I don't have a new one. I have
that
an
one's
old
got
one.
that one's got 10-year stuff in it, man. I mean, it's
Well,
it's
also,
legit.
if you look at your label, Shane, and if you recall the labels on the ones now, you have a paper label.
Yeah, now they're embossed glass or whatever, right?
Something like that, like a plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's 2018. These are pretty special. We had a bunch of them show up here at a local store. So
That was the ones that came out right after that. What is it? The whiskey that you love so much, Anthony, came out.
Oh,
Long
no.
Branch,
Yeah,
Long Branch.
yeah.
Please.
And so
Yeah.
Please. I
after
thought you
those
were being
out,
serious.
what happened is they
I thought
ran
you
out
were
of
being
young
serious.
stock of wild
I was
turkey.
going to say the whiskey I love was
They
Christmas.
had to use older reserve to fill in the rest
Yeah,
of the line.
and that's why those bottles are so good because they've got older shit in it.
Yeah, I picked up a rare breed right around that time, not knowing that was the thing. I was like, God, why don't I buy rare breed more? And then I bought one like a year later, and I went, what happened to rare breed?
Yeah, exactly.
And then somebody's like, yeah, the one you bought had 16-year-old turkey in it. And I went, oh,
Yeah.
that explains why it was
You know,
delicious.
Rare breed in itself is good. So's the Kentucky Spirit. But the difference is for the money, if you really want the single barrel taste, then you go with the Kentucky Spirit. But for everyday sipping, it's not worth the money when you got 101 sitting right next to it for $20.
I don't know
That's
if
for
that's
Ben, by the way, not for you guys. That's for Ben Demon Hunter.
I don't know if that's the case anymore with these new 101s. I'm telling you, they got substantially younger and they lost the turkey funk, which is the whole damn reason I buy turkey.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh,
they,
yeah.
they got
I
sweeter.
forgot about that.
To me, and now mind you, I hear there's batch variation still, so you may get a better bottle than I have. But to me, when I drink the new 101, it drinks to me like it was intended to be sitting next to the bartender for him to mix into a cocktail to add a nice sweet vanilla flavor. And it's
I
not-
would say that's probably the target.
Well-
I mean, it's a $25 bottle.
Yeah,
Until you just jogged my memory, I forgot about that turkey funk from back. I did until you just said something because I drink it.
This has it. This
It-
bottle has it.
But
this Russell's has got a nice turkey funk. And the Kentucky Spirits, if you get a good pick, especially, they usually have a nice turkey funk. But again, it used to be the 101 had it, so you're right. Buy the 101. Now, if you want the turkey funk, you've got to spend the money.
yes, but like I said, I drink it a lot that I don't even notice it. I mean, if you ask me about it, oh yeah, there it is. But other than that, I drink it and don't
I
even
was looking
think
for
twice
my new 101, and I couldn't find anything. Like, if you blinded me on that thing, I would have been like, man, just like this is an off Old Forester, maybe? Like, did you give me like a really weird Heaven Hill, like that, some Evan Williams type thing? I wouldn't have come up with turkey ever.
Mhm.
So, Matt, what brings you on tonight? Just hanging out?
I think he just wanted to see you, Shane.
No, because I wasn't here. He was on long before I showed up.
He knew you would show up because
I
hung
don't
the
think he
fly
knew that.
strip up, and I said, "Watch, Shane will smell that fly strip, and he will be here." Boom.
What are you drinking? Let me ask you, what are you drinking tonight, Matt?
I drank a little bit of Smoke Wagon. I had the Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea, Voyage 25, and then I had Four Roses. The what was that? The single barrel select or small batch select or whatever it was.
Okay.
But those are the three I went through tonight. So
Had a lot of variety there.
Yeah, what stood
Yeah.
out to you?
Well, I really liked the Four Roses Small Batch Select. I had a glass the night before, and then I put one in a glass and I put a Glen cap on it, let it sit for about 24 hours, and it opened it up a little bit more. I don't know. I just got a lot more of the fruit note off of it, kind of like a pear, and just a little bit more of a creamier taste and kind of a
Gotcha.
mint that showed up. So, like, I really enjoyed that because sometimes I feel like if I have other bourbons, I don't get the opportunity to really taste those notes
Yeah.
versus when I went with Four Roses. So, but I don't know. I just come on here. I mean, I'm pretty limited because I'm still new to this stuff, so I don't know as much yet. So I get to learn from you guys, which is awesome. So
Well, that's sad
Be
for you, my
careful.
friend. That's really
Yeah.
fucking
Careful.
sad for you.
I know.
Yeah.
Um,
Be careful.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? So every channel puts out these like 5 best, 10 best, top 10, top 5, 2022, finish, blah, blah, blah. What is the best bottle that you got to taste last year in 2022? And Mike Franklin, cheers to 522. That's a great bottle.
It is.
I'd
I
probably
didn't
say-
buy it, but it is a good. I've tasted the B522, but I didn't buy any of those in 2022.
Because he's a bastard.
I know.
I'd say
Go.
the Bardstown 7, to be honest. But then again, I only got into it. I only got into like the bourbon
Bardstown
game.
Disco or Fusion? Red label, blue label.
Blue
It's
label.
Fusion.
Blue label, Fusion. Okay. So the Bardstown Fusion, that was your bottle of the year for you for 2022. That's the one that
but
nice. So what about that? Like, say, and here's the beautiful thing about that whole thing, right? There is no right or wrong answer. I mean, hell, Whiskey Advocate says Jack Daniel's Bonded was the whiskey of the year. And we all know
They
that's some
did.
bullshit.
That
So-
is.
So-
Shane just said there's no wrong answer unless the answer is Jack Bonded, in which case you're
That's right. In which
Yeah.
case you are off the
I would
stream
have
immediately.
stopped you in your tracks for sure. Because I would have had your aunt counsel you.
One of the
Yeah.
best things though. So Mike's boss is a big bourbon guy, and I was like, I guarantee he's got the Jack Bond that he can bring over next time we drink. And he goes, why would a man with 500 bottles of whiskey have that bottle? And I said, Mike, how much do you want to bet he's got it? I don't care, whatever it is. Like, all right, you're apologizing for the first time in your life after you get a hold of Adam. And I sent Adam a text, with a text chain with the two of us on there. And Adam responds back like an hour later. Yeah, I killed one bottle, had to buy another one. He goes, I was like, was it any good? He goes, no, not really, but I got drunk and drank it, and I didn't remember if it
That's
was
right.
any good the first
Yeah.
time.
It's okay. It's okay.
And then Mike's like, why would you have it? And
The
it's like,
what is the other
You
one's
need
the
to
what,
track-
triple mash or something like that?
Yeah, the triple mash.
yeah, it was
That
just like,
was the way better one. And
that one didn't even make the list.
no, but I haven't tried either one because I've listened to the people tell me about it, and I'm not a huge Jack fan unless it's the single barrel selects, because they're out of this world for the most part. The standard, you could just put a little light coat of oil on that and stick it up your ass.
I mean, if you just want to have like, a
Yes,
bourbon
yes,
coke,
I said it.
bonded, fine, but otherwise,
All
'Cause
right.
I'm just-
So Matt was saying the Fusion 7 was his.
Yes.
His. What about that? What made that stand out to you so much?
So it was kind of like, again, I'm still new to everything back in, later 2022, but I was at the time, I was really limited on what I had. I had the Smoke Wagon and I had that, and the Smoke Wagon had really brought out kind of like that graham cracker kind of note to it, and a marshmallow note. And I also got that from a Bardstown as well. And I felt like I tasted that more in the Bardstown and almost had that s'mores taste to it a little bit. And it really made me appreciate it. So, but then again, things are starting to change over time, even going into the new year and stuff. I'm starting to branch out and try different things. And I don't know, again, like just, it's really cool. And again, I get to listen to you guys. I usually just listen to you guys and what you talk about. And like you said, there's some videos out there that'll be like, oh, top 10 and stuff. I
Right.
really try to avoid that kind of stuff because I don't really want it to affect my decision. Like I'd need to make the mistakes. Like I bought this bottle of Red River and it's like 86 proof, and I'm terrified to try it because it's like Pinot Noir cast it's finished in, and I'm like, I know this is going to taste like crap, but that's just something I'm going to have to journey with, you know.
It may not. You may crack into that, and it may hit all the right buttons.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'll give you a perfect example of that scenario. So you know who Matt Porter is, right? ADHD whiskey.
He does
Almost
not.
everybody knows who ADHD is. Okay, well, if you don't,
Top
you
whiskey
should check him out. Yeah, world's top whiskey taster. He was the first winner of the world's top whiskey taster contest.
On bourbon, but oddly enough.
Yeah, exactly. So he did a pick last year from Nulu that was apple brandy finished, and he called it friggin' apples, right? And I was in his competition he does every year called the Matt Madness. What is it? Matt Madness. Matt Madness.
Matt
That's
Madness.
right. And so he sent me in my because we do that just like this. There's 3 or 4 of us on screen, and we go through the samples he sends us, and we've got to make all these guesses to various questions that he asks us. Well, one of the samples he sent us was his Nulu apple brandy finished bourbon. And for whatever reason, to me, it was awful. Like it was awful for me. Now this guy he's got a great palate. There's no doubt. And he's
tremendous.
Very good at what he does. And that was a pick he did. And I shit all over his pick in front of all of Whiskey Tube to see. And I'm a very animated, like I wear my shit on my sleeve. Like I was like, oh my God, this stuff sucks. What the fuck is this shit? And then lo and behold, it was his pick. And I felt like such an asshole because it's his pick. I don't want to shit on his pick.
Yeah.
But I gotta be honest, right? Like
If you don't like Calvados barrels, you're gonna hate that anything with that stuff because Calvados is not a subtle finish
at all. To me, it was very aggressive. It was very reminiscent of Dickel. It had that kind of minerality to it.
Oh yeah, because the cognac finish can have a minerality to it. You're right.
Yeah.
So I've got a bottle of a Compass Box that they didn't finish it in Calvados. There's Calvados in it. It's not a whiskey because there's actually Calvados in it. And let me tell you, that's a bottle that has not been touched much by me.
Yeah.
Like
so
it's weird.
I mean, the point is, I trust Matt. If Matt says that bottle was good, I would, I believe him. 100%. But in that case, blindly, I shit all over that and didn't know what it was. And then come to find out it was like his pick. So I felt like, point being, you're going to get things that you like that other people are going to shit on. You're going to get things that you're going to shit on that other people are going to like. That's the way it goes. And you'll also notice that your palate will change. Like it'll start to get more developed. And by more developed means you'll have more appreciation for flavors and nuances that otherwise you would have just skipped over or you would have just discredited altogether. You're just like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
It changes. Mine changes all the time. All the time it's changing. I go back to stuff and I'm like, that bottle I hated. Now all of a sudden I go back and visit it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing is really, really good. So that's why, top 5s, it's like in a moment, right? It's a snapshot. In this moment, this is what I like. Tomorrow, it could be something totally different. So
yeah, it can be. But
that said,
like Shane said, there's no wrong answer in what you experience.
Unless it's Jack bonded. That is the wrong answer.
The key is to find people who have palates that are similar to yours. It doesn't matter if they have a good palate.
That's right.
It's got to be similar. And like I know certain reviewers. Great example, Rob from Whiskey and the Six. He is hypersensitive to certain notes in sherry casks. So when he complains about them, I ignore every damn thing he said because I will not be that sensitive. Conversely, if he tells me that there's a really good bottle that's bourbon cask, or like he finds a sherry cask he really likes, I'm a little more inclined to be interested because I know he's a hard guy to please with sherry. So I'm excited when he likes one. And, when it's bourbon cask, we seem to align fairly well.
So Matt, I'll ask you, you're in the Northeast?
Yeah, over in Delaware. I mean,
Okay. So if you could email me your information, just your shipping information, I'm going to send you some stuff. What's the most expensive bottle you've ever tasted, and what's the cheapest bottle you've ever tasted?
I think he's got it there.
That was wine finish, man. It can't be that
who's
cheap.
that? I don't know.
He
Probably.
hasn't tasted it yet.
Yeah.
Well, when you have wine finishing, it usually doesn't. It's not cheap, even if it should have been.
That's right. That's right.
I want to say that barrel, the new year, the 2023. I paid like $89 for it.
Okay. I got something special coming for you. Email me Shane at storytimedistillery.com.
Write it down because you'll forget by morning.
Yep, absolutely.
I'll get that out. I've got packages going out tomorrow, so now's the perfect time to email me, and then tomorrow I'll get it out.
All right. What was that
I
one more
love
time?
that people are kind of getting into the journey, and kind of, I'm going to send you kind of a little care package of say 6 or 8 samples or so.
Shane,
Okay.
put it in private chat for him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'll help you, Shane.
I mean, I can put it in
know
public.
you're
chat.
new. I know
Everyone
you're
knows.
new at this, Shane.
I hate you. There you go.
Man,
Oh, perfect.
I put a little bit of water in that Weller, and it went very vanilla. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you, that's another thing too that we've got to really start bringing up in conversation again is adding water to your bourbon.
I talked about that earlier.
Yep. It's so I've been saying this, and I'll continue to say this. I think this year is going to be the year that we move away from finishes and start getting back to straight bourbons and ryes, because we're going to get flooded with finishes because there's a lot of shitty whiskey that's coming to the market. They're going to make it good with finishes, which it's going to be good, but people are going to want to get back to the straight because they're going to be like, man, I miss just a standard bourbon and rye profile. You're going to see that happen. And I think the nuance that's going to really accelerate that is when people start understanding the effect that just a couple drops of water have. Not necessarily trying to proof it down, but the aromatics that occur when you create that oxidation process, when you kick that thing off, and
Just
what
when you
really
start
goes on.
moving those fatty acids,
It's-
it's not even oxygen. It's the
exactly.
fatty acid being pushed around.
Yep,
You see the difference when you drop that water into whiskey. It's like oil and water. You will see that swirl.
Mhm.
It's for that particular point in time. It doesn't mix until the molecules and everything come together and you swirl around. But you'll drop that in there and you'll see that thing just streak.
Yeah, I mean, that reminds me of
It
in 2019.
makes a difference.
Everybody was shitting on that George T. Stagg that came out in 2019 that had the lower proof. And I remember somebody blinded that and the George T. Stagg, Junior. Sorry, the Stagg Junior and the George T. Stagg. They blinded them to me, and I tried them both. And that person actually was up. They were up doing other stuff. They were getting ready to leave, and I was getting ready to leave. It was like my last 2 pours of the day. And so while they're gone, I went and just grabbed some water, did a little drop in each one. Came back and I went, oh my God, this is so much better. This is clearly a better whiskey. This one's way different. And they got down there. So what'd you think? I was like, oh man, this one right here just kills it. It's older, it's richer. And he goes, and they're just like, really? I was like, yeah, I didn't get it at first, but I put that 1 drop of water and man. And they're like, I've actually never put water in either. And I was like, well, no wonder you guys keep shitting on this George T. Stagg. It needed the water.
Well,
There's
sometimes
a whiskey in there. It needs a little something.
Mhm.
I was always dead set against water. Always. I was like, no. Well, I broke down a year ago, did a review, and then I added water to something. And damn. And I'm talking
It's
drops.
real. It has a real effect.
When I say drops, you take a pipette and you literally drop it And I actually gave Dustin and on his channel some shit about that Madden water. I said, you need to get a pipette because I said they were drowned in their whiskey. And Dustin laughed, but there's my scientific water dropper because I
There you
can't
go.
find my pipettes. I have them, but I
We
just
actually
cut
bought
that
a
off
Richmond and Mike broke it.
to where I can get a drop of water or two in there. But when we're telling you a drop, just literally drop from an eyedropper, maybe 3. I've gone up as far as 3, but I will tell you a Glengoyne, which is a Scotch, 21-year-old
Mhm.
with 2 drops of water.
Yeah, just the aromatics kick off, man, and it changes the whole.
The
whole
Scotch
experience.
itself, when I poured it in not this Christmas of 22, 21, I told my dad, it's all right. And then
I got you, Matt.
I said, all right, let me go and put a couple of drops of water in. So I went over to my dad's reverse osmosis system, turned it on, just let it start to drip, drip, drip. And I put the Glen under there, went 1, 2, pulled it back, swirled it, let it set for a few minutes and sipped and went, oh my gosh, that's it.
Yeah.
The nosing, it was like a fresh flower and how it bloomed just from them 2 stupid drops of water. Not tap water, Matt. Okay. Yeah. Not tap water. So get bottled water at least.
Yeah,
Or if you
I
have,
need to get.
Depends on your
I need to get the Fuji or.
Yeah.
If you got pretty neutral.
okay,
tasting
he's in Delaware. That's
I
all
use
I'm
my tap water because I've got an 850-foot well, so my water's coming from a really cool aquifer. But yes, your point. The whole reason I brought that up is I just think that this year you're going to see that trend. A lot of people are going to be pushing more towards straight bourbon, straight rye, and they're going to start experimenting more with water than the finishes. And you're going to see, I think you're going to see the proof points start to drop. You're still going to have people that want the crazy high proofs, and that's fine. But us, the kind of the seasoned bourbon drinkers are going to be trying to get back down below 110 again.
I think a lot of it's going to be people's budgets are going to be tighter this year. I mean,
exactly, and that's kind of where that's all coming.
We're just like, I'm sick of paying these prices. And they're like, I'm not going to keep increasing what I spend every month.
That's right.
I mean, I'm already seeing the Scotch secondary market and the Scotch auctions have gone.
Oh, same with bourbon. Bourbon's done it too.
Bourbon's gone down some, not as much, but it's coming down. I already know. In fact, I know one guy at one of these stores that likes to do secondary bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I just recently noticed all of a sudden there is more secondary bottles than I've ever seen at that store.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, he went to his archives and brought everything from his personal collection out and put it on the shelves there because he knows prices are going down. And he wants to unload as much as he can before.
If you hoarded taters last year, you need to unload them now because I'm telling you that market's dropping. And if your intention was as an investment, you better unload them now because the prices are going to start plummeting on those. It's
Matt,
coming.
how far are you from Richmond?
Virginia?
Yeah.
I don't think not that far. Maybe like 3 hours. I can check.
I was going to say I thought you were around 5, but Ben, that I have highlighted, he's up there in the northern territories of another country called Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so he was asking Delaware, and he was talking about Brian/Slapshot, and he's in Richmond. So he's trying to figure out where you are in reference to him.
It's about 3 hours and 45 minutes. I was thinking about him today actually because I remember, gosh, this was months ago. He was he really liked the Redemption, the high ride.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was thinking about it. There's like,
that 9 and 10 year, whatever those were.
Yeah, well, I was thinking there's 2 store picks out by me right now, and I was thinking about getting the one from the other because there's one that's barreled from April of 2014, and another one that's barreled from October of 2014. And I was thinking about, I was like, man, I should send him some samples of that stuff, because I remember he really talked about how he liked them and stuff. So
He's on about a 3-month break right now. Only he's fine, but he just has a few medical things that he's clearing up, and so yeah, he's taking. Matter of fact, he was just talking about it today on.
Is that a newer one?
Powdered peanut butter and cocoa powder.
Is that a newer one? I've not seen one.
Yeah, this is the brand new label.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, look at that.
It looks so much classier. I know a few people say they don't like
it. It does.
But doesn't that look? To me, it looks classy as hell.
I mean, I'll tell you though, this one's still the best freaking Russells I've ever had.
I saw it and I thought, wow, what a special! Like I looked at it.
And Shane, I've tasted that one.
It's fucking so good.
I've tasted that.
Not a bad, not a bad one right here.
Warehouse. Let's see. What is it?
Focus already, man.
Man, you need to get rid of that Walmart camera.
Yeah. Dude, this is like one of the most expensive webcams.
There we go. There we go.
You have to literally go to like
Warehouse K Floor 4.
Yeah, it's just short of 10 years too. I mean, just short.
So that was bottle 1226. Look at mine. Flip to my.
I don't know. Hold on. Jeez.
1226. Yeah.
Yeah, 1226. Dumped.
K4.
What was your barrel number on that?
Let's see here. Where's the barrel number?
It's right below bottled.
Oh, 21-0125.
So this is 0226.
So what's the big notes on that one? I mean, these are pretty much sister barrels.
Pretty much. And I've got a few from that warehouse, that floor, that dump date.
I mean,
that distill date. I'm sorry, that distill date.
I'll tell you what, when I first tasted this thing, it was okay. But now that's been open for about a week, man.
And night and day difference.
What was your dump date on that?
Dumped on
July
10/18 of 22.
So mine was July.
Okay. Yeah, so this one came in just short of 10 years. It was 2 months and 8 days. Short.
It's so good, man.
I was 18 when that shit started.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Hey, I've got whiskey older than me here, so
yeah.
I believe it or not, I'm 49 years old, and I also have whiskey that is actually the same age as me.
I want to see it.
This was distilled in 1991, so that's not older than me, but it was a 91.
Dude, that was a year before I graduated high school.
Just sit on the floor here.
Yeah, but you graduated high school at 10 years old, Shane.
No, I did not. I graduated normally. I just only was going to school for half a day for 2 years and going to college for the other half of the day for 2 years.
Well, yeah.
What'd you do?
I had a few friends who did
take
that.
all the AP classes.
No, I was in a genetics program with the government.
Shane was an experiment.
Yeah.
He can talk about it now. But
Weapon
before
X, man. I was fucking Weapon X. No, I was doing work on the Human Genome Project. So I was doing a lot of lab work for electrophoresis and gene typography and stuff like that. So I was doing that at a really young age.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I have for my 50th birthday, so I'll be 49 this year. And actually 2 weeks, I'll be 49. But I have a bottle that was distilled the year I was born. Probably one of the most famous bottles of bourbon outside of the Pappies that I'll be cracking on my 50th birthday next year. And that's the bottle that will always be the same age as me.
Oh.
And that's the A.H. Hirsch.
Okay.
Oh, Hirsch.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you got? 16 years?
20.
Okay, those are a little less desired, but still, I bet you they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
Hirsch. I've got a couple of bottles of Hirsch, and I mean, I went through one.
Those are not the same.
No,
Yeah,
but
this is old Stitzel Weller.
No, I know what you're talking about, but I'm just I went to the Hirsch because I was like, I wasn't sure about that, but damn it, they're not bad for the money. And
No,
once
the
it
good
opens
ones
up-
are. Everyone say they're Willet, and it sure matches the profile.
Well,
See,
the
I
thing-
don't get that off of mine, but you could be right because I haven't had that much Willet.
I've heard somebody
to
say that, but
say.
also like I saw the bottle and it literally said distilled at the Hirsch Distillery. And I don't know how
So
they're
the 6 year, I've got a 6 year down there in the bar. It's 100%. Like it matches my old Kirk's. Like it's right in the same.
there's a 7-year that they finished in a 30-year-old cognac cask.
Yeah, that's like $200, isn't it?
$200, and I had some people like ask them about who had it, and they're like, "Well, if you like purple tops, this is great." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "They're like, yeah, the finishing's not very noticeable." And I'm like, well, "That's the whole reason I paid $200 for the damn thing." Like I was expecting some crazy finishing because the thing was dark as hell, gorgeous color.
Yeah.
Which I saw the price and I just went, nah.
Yeah, those old Kirks though, if you've gotten a hold of those, man, those are some fantastic bottles too.
They
Yeah,
are.
I gotta say, I don't the Willet profile on those like purple tops. I think is good, but I just wouldn't pay premiums for them.
There's a certain age I think they have to hit before they hit that kind of like
I've
they're
had
good.
19-year-olds. I've had 17 and 19-year-old ones, and I mean, I liked them. Don't get me wrong, they were good.
Not worth $2,000.
Not worth $900, which was like not
Right,
worth
that's right.
like I'm just like, man, I mean, I'd be in on these things for $200-300, I guess, just because the coolness factor. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think the first one I had was like an older stock that I think was originally like 1,300, I think retail, and then the other one was like 1,800-1,900 retail. It's just like, you gotta be kidding.
Yeah, I got an 8-year purple top this year, and then I got the old Kirks, and I got one of the 6-year Hirsches, the yellow labels, which they say is essentially all the same shit. It's just different ages. But I think even the 8-year is actually really good purple top.
Okay.
But price wise, is about twice what the old Kirks are at SRP. And that's what I paid for it. So
I tried a couple pours of a 6 and a 7-year purple top at a local store here. They're about $30 a pour, something like that, $25-$30 a pour.
Yeah.
For the heck of it, I went and tried both of them, and I mean, it was good. What I got to do is I want to try one of those like 7, 8 to 11-year-old Willet Ryes.
Yeah.
I keep passing.
I never see those.
So I've seen them a couple times, and we had a bottle there to try, but I tried the two bourbons. I want to do them side by side, and then I came back like a week later to try the rye, and it was gone. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, well, all right. And then there have been a few of the ryes showing up here, and they were like, it was back when I had it. I spent a lot more money locally, and I had points, so I could have bought one, but it was like 2,000 points, and it was like $300. I'm just like.
Well, I was lucky enough to get a WLW from this last BTAC drop.
You are lucky. That thing is incredible.
It is really good. And then I would put right behind it is that old Fitz 19. That thing is unbelievably good.
You've liked that more than some other people I've talked to. A lot of people I've talked to have preferred the 17 by us.
I do not. I like the 17 fine. The 19 to me just has a finish and a dusty funk that the 17 doesn't have. And I like that. I like that a lot.
I recently found a very good friend of mine is now actually the Heaven Hill truck driver.
Oh yeah, you need to rob that guy.
Yeah, while we were talking, he goes, man, well, the thing is, like, I've been pretty busy with work. Like, it's where, like, again, for me to, like, take off work during the day to go, like, bourbon hunting, he's just known I've been too busy. He's like, man, you've been busy. I'm like, all right. If a William Heaven Hill is getting dropped off somewhere locally close enough for me to drive to, I want to know.
Right.
The Parkers always let me know. I'll take off. And I was like, and I'd probably do it for a Fitz decanter, but that's the third one on the list. Everything else, you're right. I am too busy. I'm not going chasing an ECB.
That's right.
And I'm like, I am legitimately busy right now, but I will find time for those.
Yeah, especially that double oak. That double oak Parker.
God, I tried that the same day I tried the WLW. I have it one notch below the WLW.
Yeah,
but
but it's literally
yeah, I got offered one of those for 500, and I was like, nah, I can't do that. But
yeah.
I would have considered 400 if he'd said 4. If he'd said 450, I'd have countered with 4, and I think he would have taken it.
Yeah.
But I can't. 500 is just too much, even as much as I liked it. 500.
We all have that point where it's like, I'll pay this, but then when you get, like you said, that 500, it's like,
It's a little painful.
it's good. I want it, but at that price, I can't.
I've done 4 figures for Scotch, and I kind of regretted it, but I understood it. I can't get close to that on bourbon. As much as I like really good bourbon, I mean, King of Kentucky's the only one I would think twice about.
What is?
King of Kentucky's about the only bourbon I would think twice about at that 450.
Oh yeah, those are stupid. They're so good.
Yeah, like I've had the 16-year Hirsch, which is the legendary one, which I think actually was Pennsylvania distillate.
Yeah, it is. It's the Pennsylvania Stitzel.
And as good
So
as
is the 20, by the way.
I'd rather have King of Kentucky.
Yeah. You know my story. I found 2 bottles of King Kentucky at retail at a store there in Lexington. I have yet to find a bottle that beats it.
Yeah, Michter's 20 is the closest thing for me that I've had in recent years that I can like quickly reference in my head.
Yeah.
The Michter's 20 hits on a lot of things I like more, like the sweetness levels and stuff. But as far as depth and complexity, like it's just not close.
Yeah.
That Willet Purple Top 19-year I tried, I had it the same day I had Michter's 20.
Oof.
And it was
unfair.
So I had very old Carter 27 that day too.
Well, so that reminds me, when I was at the whiskey weekend, we had this night where we had all these great pours, and like I had E.H. Taylor 18-year marriage, which was freaking so good. But I also had Old Carter American 6, which I'd never had anything like that before. That took it for me for the night. And we had Weller Full Proof, we had Eagle Rare 17, we had like all these crazy pours that night. But the one that stood out was the Old Carter American, because I've never had anything like that. Yeah.
Well, so we had this was a paid tasting, so it was about a half ounce of each. I think it was like $150 for the tasting, which done.
Yeah.
Easiest, $150 I've ever spent. And so we started off with the 2 of the old charters. So I think it was the Mongolian and the French oak. Mongolian was interesting. I wouldn't, I'd buy it for $40, $50 maybe. Nothing special. French oak, pretty darn good. I need to get over to Mash and Drums, and I want to compare the French oak charter against a French oak Buffalo Trace experimental to see how they compare.
The age, though, is so different on those two, I think.
That's 10 years on the Buffalo Trace. I don't know what the age on the charter is.
I thought there was a big difference. I think there was like a 6 or 7 year gap.
There's no way the old charter's 4 years old.
I think I remember it being something like that. Some goofy.
Old charters drink like 6-year-old Buffalo Trace to me.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, I've had 3 different ones. I've never owned a bottle, but I've had them three different ones. And to me, they drink like a 6-ish year Buffalo Trace with nice, like a couple months of oak finishing is my guess. I thought they were all tasty. I just wouldn't pay big money. And then the Buffalo Trace experimentals, everyone I've seen is 10 years even.
Okay.
I'm sure there are some older or younger, but everyone I've had the opportunity to buy has been age stated at 10 exactly.
Okay. I've seen some older ones for sure.
I'm sure they exist.
Anthony, I know this is your stream. It's 2:30. You were saying you needed to get up soon. So
yeah, I'm going to end it here in just a minute. But I was listening to Dustin there, but yeah, I'm going to be getting up here in a couple of hours. Matt, he's like you. He's you all 3 are on the wrong side of the world compared to me.
what are you talking about? We are on the right side of the world.
For being up this late, we're on the wrong side.
This side
It's
drives
2:30.
the whole rest of the world.
Yeah.
It's 2:30 there. Here it's 11:30. So
EST is where it's at, my friend.
Well, I left that a long time ago and came to this Pacific
All
time.
business decisions are made in EST time.
Yeah, I was gonna say
True.
we all have regrets, Anthony. Now we know
True.
yours.
But that's not one of them because I don't shovel snow.
I worked with a guy who was like, we hired as head of sales and for our New York based company at the time. And that dude had to be on the 7 a.m. calls every Wednesday. And I just was thinking to myself, why would you do that to yourself? And then I remember him talking about it one day, and he's like, because my house is on the beach by the ocean. He goes, I can go surfing every day. And he goes, I'll never give up the West Coast. And he goes, and I'm more than happy to get up at 4 a.m. and get off work at 4 p.m.
That's right.
He
That's
goes,
right.
I'll put in my 12-hour day. And I also found out later what he was making. And I'd suffer a lot for that salary.
You would suffer, yes.
Suffer.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Exactly. See what Mike says?
Yeah. West Coast, best coast. Get out of here with that shit, Mike Franklin.
Wait a minute. There you go.
As long as you don't, mind earthquakes and
Yeah. No, well, where Anthony's at is going to be the next West Coast soon.
Yeah, as soon as California falls off.
That's right.
You know.
And it can't fall off fast enough.
Well, it needs to take its time because Richie and a few other people got to get out of there.
Oh, they'll get out. Look, they'll just surf. They'll just catch a wave.
He probably
Right
will.
in.
Richie'd be that guy who sleeps with every single woman while they're all terrified about the earthquakes, and then once they get done, he's just gonna hop on a surfboard and
Yeah, he's out of there.
be right on his way, man. He's like, "See you, ladies. Had a great time."
That's it. All right, we'll wrap it up here, and you guys can go and practice your hog calling while I clean up here a little bit. But it's always been good and a pleasure to see everybody and
Great stream.
say what we
Thanks
all
for
have
hosting
to
us.
say. But I look forward to seeing you all guys again next week. And until we see each other again, you all have a great evening, and
Cheers.
we'll
I'm
see you
empty.
again. Cheers.
Cheers, all.
Cheers.